In the vast universe of knowledge, it's startling to realize that more than 2 billion people on Earth identify as Christians. That's around 1 in every 3 people. With such a significant population, the interpretations and understanding of the Bible, the holy book of Christianity, become vitally important. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 22, the scripture reads, "You shall not lie with a male as with a woman, it is an abomination." This verse, found in the Old Testament, has been interpreted by some as a scriptural stance against homosexuality. It's a verse that has been used to shape the views and beliefs of many. The book of Romans, chapter 1, verses 26 through 27, also broach the topic. These verses state, "Because of this, God gave them over to shameful lusts. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their error." These verses, among others, have been interpreted by some as a clear stance against homosexuality. However, it is important to remember that Scripture is often subject to interpretation, and not all Christians interpret these verses in the same way. For example, some argue that the context of these verses is important. They suggest that the verses in Leviticus are addressing specific cultural practices of the time, not making a universal declaration about homosexuality. Similarly, the verses in Romans are seen by some as a critique of lust and idolatry, not a condemnation of homosexuality. Interpretations of Scripture can vary widely. It's crucial to approach the Bible with an open mind and a heart for understanding. It's also important to remember that the Bible, like other sacred texts, is a product of its time. The cultural and historical context in which it was written can profoundly impact how we understand its messages today. The Bible is a rich and complex text, filled with wisdom, guidance, and lessons for life. It's a book that invites us to wrestle with its teachings, to question, to seek understanding. It encourages us to engage with its text, to grapple with its meaning, and to apply its teachings to our own lives. Whether you're a seasoned biblical scholar or a curious beginner, the Bible invites you to delve deeper, to explore its pages, and to seek understanding. It's a journey that can be both challenging and rewarding, but it's one that is well worth undertaking. In conclusion, the scripture passages mentioned today are ones that have been interpreted by some as taking a stance against homosexuality. However, it's important to remember that interpretations can vary, and not all Christians interpret these verses in the same way. Therefore, it is greatly encouraged for everyone to read these scriptures for themselves. By reading and reflecting on these passages, you can form your own understanding of their meaning. Remember, the Bible isn't just a book to be read, but a book to be lived. So, explore its pages, wrestle with its teachings, and seek your own understanding.